Good morning. I just noticed that I have an unruly beard, and you get to be blessed with that because I'm here doing the video and I'm not stopping it. I hope you're doing well and you're keeping safe and you're spending time doing the necessary work to be done. We have a really interesting opportunity. I've been quietly busy and certainly connected to my tribe and supporting where I can. And I'm really present to the opportunity. Despite what's going on, we have a real gift presented to us. And it's not very often where we're given the sort of time to really slow down and look at our lives and what's working and what's not, and what we've denied ourselves and what we've allowed as considerations to enable the status quo of whatever that is in our life to continue going. It's not easy work. It's probably the hardest work to do, especially when given the opportunity to do it. We will usually find ways around it, to avoid it, to be busy in the other more important things of our lives. That's changed now, hasn't it? Right now, the time that's being made available is the time to really look at those things that we have avoided and dismissed. We get to pay attention to them now. We get to listen to the inner dialogue that's going on. We get to make some choices around what direction to take now. We get to see where we can be of service to one another, to contribute to one another in the best ways that we are able to do. We get to look at what that actually is for us, instead of being caught up in doing the job that we were told to do or that we had to do. Well, now we get to look at what can we do? What would we like to be able to do that would make a difference now? And then we get to look at how to make that happen, how to make that work. We have a finite resource of time, energy, and attention. Even inside of this uncertain situation, there is only so much time. So what are you doing with your time? Are you willing enough to explore what's unfamiliar, those curiosities? Are you willing to dig a little bit deeper in those questions that you've asked yourself many times? And are you ready to get the answer? Because there's still a substantial amount of work to be done even after that. But the difference is you're at the helm now, and you're the one who is leading the charge and making the change for yourself and for whomever that might impact in the world around you. And yeah, there are limitations. There are limitations in life all the time, are there not? So what is it that you're going to do with the opportunity, and how are you going to navigate the limitations as you move forward? And again, I'm not saying that this is an easy thing to do, that it is a simple sequence of events to run through and miraculously you're going to get your answer. You're going to get your solution. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some commitment. Well, guess what? That's what you got right now. You got time. You got the ability to look at it and evaluate it and plan and contemplate and engage and interact. I mean, we have the technology right now to do so. And so if that's something that you are curious around, are open to exploring, start doing it. And if you need a sounding board, I'm available. I'm making myself available because this is actually what it is that I do, that I want to do more. And I see the opportunity to really be able to be that catalyst for others, to reveal those things that might normally be hidden in the background with all of our considerations and our justifications that prevent us from seeing what's actually there right in front of us. So reach out. And if not me, reach out to those in your community that you know would make a difference and would support you in moving forward into a new paradigm, into a new world, into a new direction. What you can't do, what you should avoid, is to try and count on those that you know will keep you where you're at. We all have those people in our lives. They will not serve you should you choose to keep them around. And I'm not saying don't keep them around, but what I am saying is that unless you have the right people around you that are equally invested in moving forward, you're going to have even more of a challenging time to continue down this path. So my only advice in that case is to be mindful, to be hyper aware of their influences in the choices that you decide to take and the steps you decide to make, and be conscious about their influence in preventing you from moving forward. And then there's simply a choice. You can keep them around, or you can continue to move forward knowing that they will not keep pace with you, that you will leave them behind. And it's not because you don't want them beside you, but rather they are not ready to take the trip, to travel the distance like you've committed. And there's nothing wrong with that. We are all on our own journeys. But what we have to avoid is in the feeling and the obligation to bring everybody with us, and as a result, not making any progress, not nearly enough progress as we could have been making. And the result is not making nearly enough progress as we could have been making. So, who do you have around you? Spend the time to think about what's next and honestly look at what you could be doing, what would make the difference for you and for others, and begin the process of unraveling and making sense of what that looks like. And asking yourself this question: who do I want to be known as, and who do I want to know myself to be? This is distinct. It is not about an end objective in the traditional sense of goal setting. It is about a state of being. Inside of a state of being, anything is possible or nothing is possible. So who are you going to be for the next 90 days? And then you get to look at what are some milestones that over 90 days you can look back and go, I achieved those things. They are an indication of you being on your way to being known as and knowing yourself to be X. So start there and see what you create.